Welcome to the kickoff of my first web series. I'm recording this from inside the car in the garage because I have a house full of family right now, and this is the only quiet place I could get to do this. So it's either perfect or right now. I chose right now. All right, here we go. I'm going to guide you through the creation of your first simple web app with Chat GPT. This first diagram explains the three things you need. You need Chat GPT. I highly recommend paying the $20 a month and getting a subscription. It's the best tuition you'll spend. Secondly, you need a code editor. I use Sublime. I'd recommend Sublime. It's a great code editor, but you can use anything you want. Don't try to use a text editor. Please use something that will format the code properly. It makes it a lot easier to use. Another well-spent purchase. Finally, a web browser. It's as simple as that. You're going to put the code into the code editor, save it as an HTML file, and then you're going to refresh it and display it in your browser. You're going to interact with it. If it's not doing what you want, you go back to ChatGPT and the web browser, you tweak the code, copy, paste, and refresh. It's as simple as that. So next, ChatGPT. For those who haven't used it yet, it makes an amazing code editor, almost like a smart code assistant. So here, we're going to start with a daily dad joke web app. So I start first by asking ChatGPT to generate 20 dad jokes. And as you can see, it's generating them. We'll do a fast forward by the magic of the modern video editing. And you'll see that I said, generate some that are more than simply one-liner puns. I want something with a little more substance to the dad jokes. And it's conveniently spitting out slightly more sophisticated dad jokes, if such a thing can be argued to exist. So once we get that, great. Well, we need that in a format that can be displayed by code easily. And that is something that's called a JavaScript array. So for anybody who's brand new to web and HTML and all that, there are three components you need to think about: HTML code, CSS code, and JavaScript. CSS is the presentation layer. JavaScript is how it works, the logic. And HTML is the structure of the document. I highly recommend combining all those into a single file. The developers out there will balk at this, but it's the easiest way to work with ChatGPT. So if at first you don't get what you want, you simply ask ChatGPT to combine it all into a single file. So now that I've said reformat those 20 or 40 dad jokes as a JavaScript array, you then start a new chat. If you want, you can continue the same one. It's cleaner to start a new chat, and you say, create a HTML web app that will display a randomly selected dad joke each day or each time the end user visits the page. And ChatGPT will oblige by doing so. And so it takes a bit of time typically, so I'll often fire my question off to ChatGPT, maybe go refresh a cup of coffee or something similar. Get up and move. It's a great idea. In between, use it as a kind of transition to remind you to stand up from your chair, or do a couple squats, stand on one leg, something, whatever. Just know that you're going to be waiting for ChatGPT sometimes to generate the code. And you can see here that it is following best practices, and it's separating the HTML and CSS and JavaScript into different buckets, at which point I said, hey, can you combine all these into a single file? And it obediently does so. One thing I can say to all designers out there, please don't be afraid of code. Code will allow you to do magical things, especially with the help of ChatGPT. Okay, so it has generated all the code as a single file. Fantastic. You can then go and test it by saving it as an HTML file to your desktop or to a folder. And You can say, great, let's see what this does. And you double click on said HTML file and look at it in the browser. And voila, we've got our daily dad joke. Fantastic. So you now just wrote your first web app. It's as simple as that. One other thing you can do, and the magic of Chat GPT, is it can generate endless amounts of content for you. So if you wanted 1,000 dad jokes so people could see a random variety every day, ChatGPT can easily do this for you. And what I'd recommend is generate those 1,000 dad jokes on a separate thread, pull them in, and then you simply copy them into your HTML file. There's a little spot here that you can see. It's done what it's called. It's stubbed out an area, which just means it's put in a placeholder for you to insert all those other dad jokes. So you can see I grab my 40 other dad jokes that were generated in the other thread, and I copy and paste them into that placeholder, and voila. Now, when I go to my random dad joke page and I refresh, I see all those new dad jokes appearing. And so that is it. There you have it, your first web app. Congratulate yourself. You've moved beyond simple point-and-click prototyping that many of the tools are limited to, such as Figma, such as just name your tool du jour. Believe me, they're going to keep changing over the years. And I highly recommend, as designers, you empower yourself by building real HTML prototypes instead of trying to do it in a tool that will not give you that functionality. Learn how to build web apps that people can interact with, and then you will be one step closer to designing for real human behavior as opposed to static click-throughs. That's it for today. The next step I'm going to show you how to do is take your local files that you've created and publish them so that you can test them and share them with the world. That will be part 2 of this series. I hope this has been helpful to you, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.